Here we go for Lauren, everybody. Are you ready to welcome your next comedian to the stage? Yeah, let's put your hands together and give a big belly laugh cheer for Miss Anne-Marie Breen.
Really nice to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day with you, patron saint of Ireland, the man who banished all the snakes from our land. He missed one, my ex. Hell of a snake. He made the snake and Adam and Eve seem like Snow White. I swear to God, he was a creep. He was a narcissist. I didn't know he was a narcissist at the time. I know it's a term that's overused, but he was a narcissist. Now, maybe I should have guessed. He did introduce himself as Mr. Fantastic. But I thought he was being ironic. We moved in together during the pandemic, but eventually I had to throw him out. You know, his ego just wouldn't pay the rent. So, but I love being from Ireland. I love Irish people. I think I love our country. I love walking down the street in Dublin. I'm walking down the street and complete strangers will say hi to me. Hi, hi. I go, oh hi, how are you? How's life? And they'll stop and tell me. It's like I can have deep, meaningful, soulful conversations with complete strangers on the street, and yet find it almost impossible to look at a close family member dead in the eye. What is that? It's like we're sort of a contradiction in people. You know, we're very upbeat and cheerful, and yet we have a very melancholic soul. So it makes us very good poets. I mean, I remember a time in my life, right, and I was really feeling very lonely. You know, I would just stare out the window and just kind of wonder, did anybody love me, or did anybody care if I lived or died? And you know, I got so depressed that I dragged my body downstairs and speak to my family. But I did actually. I'm just back from a weekend in New York. So yeah. Oh, sorry. I mean Newry. And so that's exciting to be back. I just went up for a look around, you know. I didn't really know anybody up there, but I was walking down the street and I saw this man coming towards me, and I thought, I know that guy. Where do I know him from? I couldn't think of him. I thought, it's my dentist from Dublin. So I went, hi, Dr. Morley. And he looked over and, like, no register. He couldn't understand. So I went, and he went, oh, hello, Anne-Marie, how are you? Might look at that back tooth next time you're in. So that was kind of funny, but geez, I turned the corner. Couldn't believe who was parking their car. My gynecologist. Oh my God. But I did actually live in New York for a while. I lived in Manhattan. I shared an apartment. It was a big apartment, and I shared it with 3 American guys. They were all gay. Robert, Frederick, Tim. Then there was 4 cats. They were all neutered. Mark, Stuart, Sid and Mary, and then there was me. So there was 3, 4, 7, 8 pussies in the apartment. And the guys were wild, and they were totally wild. Like I called when they were having a house party, and Robert goes, "Come on in, yeah, you got the room, no problem. Now what can I get you? We got beer, wine, spirits. We got cocaine, mollies, dollies, bonsai bullets, uppers, downers, poppers, special K. What do you want? We got everything." I'm like, "Geez." Jim Barry's tea. My God, you Irish, you're so crazy. But it was a crazy apartment, honest to God, you wouldn't know. I mean, the things that I saw, you know, I mean, I had my own little Irish convent bedroom in the back, you know, where I could occasionally smuggle in some cute little drifter. But more often than not, I'd walk out into the living room, and there I'd be faced with some kind of random Sven, some Swedish opera singer, or Gustav, kind of a German pastry chef, stark naked in the middle of the kitchen, yodeling while Robert ate his strudel. Honestly, it's like the memories. But I worked with a lot of creative people over there. I worked with actors, writers, and a couple of directors, you know. Like we all worked in one restaurant, to be honest. And everyone was always trying to get noticed, you know, they were trying to get discovered. So this lady came up to me at the end of my shift one night, and she went, "Honey, I came down here last night and I saw you. And I brought my friend down here tonight, this is true, so that she could see you too." I was like, this is my moment, I couldn't be discovered. And she goes, honey, you're the worst waitress in New York City. I'm like, thanks, I'll take the award. But there's another true story. I didn't meet my prince over there, but I did meet Kermit the Frog. I met the original Kermit the Frog in a bar one night. He was totally pissed. Now, he was with his handler, John Henson, who was the real Muppet. And I was like, son of Jim. Nice guy, but he was a Muppet. And Kermit said to me, he actually stopped and he said, hey, he said, would you sit on my face? And I'm like, Kermit, no, behave yourself. And besides, what would poor little Miss Piggy think? And he went, yeah, I can't eat Miss Piggy. She's not kosher. Anyway. I brought him home and I did a little rest. That's the end. Okay, thank you very much.
Keep it going for Marie, everybody. Anne-Marie was saying that her ex-boyfriend used to call him Mr. Fantastic. I recently discovered that my friend's daughter called me the BFG, you know, the Big Friendly Giant. Absolutely delighted, because normally women refer to me as the SDP.